entering a self-healing journey, or even perhaps when it comes to making the decision of, do I want to go there and even become aware of the impact of my childhood trauma? There is a famous saying, what we focus on magnifies or gets bigger. And there's a whole school of thought of, you know what, I'm going to reframe my past. I'm going to say, you know, what happened to me just made me stronger. It made me the person I am. It built resilience. Everything that happened in my past, maybe I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. I wouldn't want to go through it. But you know what? It gave me the tools of resiliency. I can now help other people make it through. I'm not going to focus on it at all, because what I focus on magnifies and gets bigger. So 2 big questions when it comes to therapy, to entering this journey of healing, of self-healing, of community healing, of awareness. If you focus on all of your trauma, is it possible you now are going to have a worse life? Or is ignoring it, reframing it as, okay, this helped me be stronger, all the things all happened for me. Is that like pressing the easy button? Is it like a Band-Aid? And will your pain still be stuck in your body and still transmit in other ways? Because a lot of people are scared of therapy because they're like, you know what? I don't even want to focus on that because I don't want to make my life worse right now.
And we don't want to go back and feel that pain again. It's,
Yeah.
I think, very understandable, this idea that that's back there. It's
Yes.
not here now.
Yes.
What's important, I think, is to understand the distinction between the word I keep using, becoming conscious or aware of something.
Yeah.
That I like to describe like overhead lights on in a room. We're able to note the presence of the thoughts, the repetitive thoughts quite often, the sensations or emotions in the body, the then behaviors, oftentimes driven by habitual autopilot, that we're enacting in any given moment. That is different than a hyper-focused thinking or a kind of thinking about that like a spotlight. And a lot of us, and this would come up too in traditional therapy, when we continue to ruminate, whether in our own minds about what happened, whether in, you know, a relational or therapeutic experience where we're hyper-focusing, talking about what happened. Even some of us misconstrue what self-awareness is, and we think we're self-analyzing by always thinking about what happened or its impact in the current moment. Anytime we're in that zoomed in kind of thinking activity, not just illumination, lights are on, I can note it, I can easily, just as equally easily choose to put my attention somewhere else, then I think the byproduct of that can be that idea of, right, where my attention goes, my energy flows. It's becoming bigger. I'm becoming consumed by what happened, only focused on what happened, or keeping myself impossible of thinking about anything else, sometimes because I think I'm self-analyzing or self-discovering. So becoming conscious is the most empowering step of change, as I've been kind of sharing throughout. Becoming aware, because even if we do think the past is decades in our rear view mirror, chances are there are some habits that have become ingrained from the way we think or what we believe about ourselves that was greatly impacted by what we were made to think or believe about ourselves in childhood, to the way that our relationship with our emotions, how we express them, how we navigate them, how we soothe them, how we turn to others for support or we don't, was greatly impacted by that level of emotional attunement or the consistency upon which our early caregivers were able to soothe us, teaching us how to then soothe ourselves. And the way we connect to others is greatly impacted by what we had to do or stop doing in those early relationships to maintain connection. So until we become conscious of what we might be carrying from our past, then even those of us that are trying to close the lid on it and keep it in that rearview mirror are unfortunately probably enacting it in some way, are probably continuing to have unmet needs or react from wounded places or not be in authentic self-expression or authentic relationships because that's what they once learned.
I think that's really powerful. So you're saying basically, or is it safe to say that if you want to live the highest, truest expression of who you are with the most depth of connection with other people, you cannot personal develop or positive think your way out of the need for awareness of the things that you've gone through and how they've shaped the person you become and the way that you handle situations and people around you.
The way to live the most fulfilled, expressed life is by turning those overhead lights of consciousness.
Yeah.
Is by giving ourselves in each and every moment the opportunity to make choices tailored to that moment. Because we like to assign this unrealistic expectation of future telling, of being able to know exactly what it is we have to do in future moments. And the reality of being a evolving organism in our energetic level, all of us humans, our energy, our shifting process, we don't actually know how to care for our physical body in the next 5 to 10 years because we haven't been in that body yet. To be able to attune to our ever-changing emotions based on our changing circumstances.
You talk so much, and we've talked today a lot about being in your body and feeling your body. This is going to be brand new for a lot of people. This is going to be brand new for a lot of people, but you do this so well. Can you just take a second and teach us, like, how do we physically get present in our own body? Like, for everyone listening and watching right now, I would love for you guys to do this with us. Can you teach us how, Dr. Nicole LePera?
So I'm going to teach you something how to do now. And my hope is that you kind of create or recreate this practice throughout your day. Because the more we expand these moments in Self-Healer Circle, one of the primary course that everyone is directed to upon enrollment is called Awaken Consciousness. And I talk about in the book too, a conscious check-in, which gives us the opportunity to engage this practice throughout our day. Maybe setting an alarm on your phone, putting a Post-it note up, joining up with an accountability buddy and having them text you at a certain time of the day, or building around the thing you do every day, brushing your teeth, drinking coffee. And so in this moment, I can invite everyone, if it's safe to do so, of course, to just first notice where your attention is. Right? Are you paying attention to the external environment? Are you distracted by what's going on around you? Are you maybe consumed or thinking about your thoughts, distracted by something in your internal world? Some of you might choose, this is the safety part, to close your eyes if you're not driving your car. Help you gain a little bit more awareness of where is your attention. And without judging wherever it is, I want you to make the most empowering choice that you can make, which is to unhook your attention from those external distractions or your internal distractions of your thinking mind, and refocus it on your body. And a couple hooks that you can use. Some of you might even choose to put a hand on your chest or on your belly and begin to just notice your normal rhythm of breath. Our breath is always available as a beautiful embodiment practice, shifting focus away from everything else and just beginning to pay attention for the next minute or two to your breath. Others, you can choose and maybe practice all of them and determine which one you resonate with most. Feel yourself grounded. This is a grounding practice. What that means is, if you're standing somewhere, maybe feel the weight of the heels upon the earth beneath you. If you're sitting or laying, maybe turn your attention to all of the different contact points. Your thighs, your lower back. If you're laying, your entire body supported by the furniture of the earth beneath you. Just spend a moment noticing your body in contact and supported by the earth beneath you. Another final hook or check-in that you can do to embody in this moment is by taking a quick second and going through your senses, noticing what you can smell. Are there aromas? Do you smell the coffee that you're maybe drinking? Are there sounds in the environment around you? Is there any texture? Is your shirt textured if you are having your hands upon it, or maybe the chair that you're sitting in. Are you noticing a texture or the blanket that's over top of you? Is there any taste in your mouth? And of course, if your eyes are closed, you might gently want to open them and do a quick sight check-in. What do you see? Are there any vibrant colors? Anything that you didn't notice in your environment that you are noticing now? And again, all of those areas, your breath, the fact that it's ever present, you're always breathing, can be a beautiful place to shift your focus of attention. The support, we're always being supported by something beneath us. And we always have access to our senses. And making that empowering choice in many moments throughout the day. Of course, I just took you through the exercise right now, but setting that alarm, practicing one time and then maybe 2 times will give you that space of overhead illumination that I keep talking about.
And doing that practice, is it helping you just start to be aware of how you feel?
That is the first step. Then we can choose to notice those repetitive narratives that I've been talking about throughout. What are those meanings that we're assigning? What about those sensory signals that my body is sending? Right? Maybe adding to that check-in. We already did the breath one, how we're breathing.
Yes.
If it's quick, if you're holding it, your body might be stressed. Maybe expanding that focus to your muscles. Is there tension that you're carrying? Noticing in those moments that the messages that your mind is receiving or your brain is that your body is stressed, making it even more likely for those reactive cycles to continue.
So many people, and I hear it from so many, especially women, they don't even know how they feel, what they're thinking, their intuition, let alone what they're feeling in their body. And that awareness, like your body kind of tells you everything, right? Like you walk into a certain friend circle, and if you feel tense or you feel like something's off, just paying attention to that, right? Starting to feel red flags in relationships, starting to all of those things. Or similarly, if you just all of a sudden just feel at ease, it's probably your knowing telling you you're safe, and just starting to pay attention to that is huge. But so many people don't know how to do that. So starting this practice, how long should you do this for? And how many times a day would you say when you start?
I think just something I want to add there too, not hyper focusing on giving language to what you're feeling. I think so quickly we shift focus and away from the sensory experience of what we're feeling.
Yeah.
Because then our mind is trying to find the emotion.
Right.
That we can label it. Am I sad? Am I angry?
Right.
So instead, if we notice that tendency, just to practice focusing on the sensations. Is there a tightness? Is there a heat? Is there a chill? Right?
And
Is
not
there
having to know
tingling?
what that means yet.
Not having to
Because
know.
us achievers, we want to know, oh,
Exactly.
okay, good. That was progressive.
That's
I
why
didn't
I'm
waste
offering
my time.
that. I'm playing the tape forward because for me too, I noticed even as a clinical psychologist who's supposed to know and help people with emotions, I really struggled to give language and to know exactly what those sensations were telling me. And so that's another mental activity where we try to figure over, decide or determine and then judge ourselves and worry about if we're wrong. And what if it's not the feeling I thought it was? And just to stay with the sensory experience of being in the body. And the more practice we can have, as I mentioned earlier, our bodies don't want to change. If what's in your body is a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of upsetting emotions, a lot of dysregulating emotions, staying committed to just one check-in throughout your day and staying consistent with that habit. And then over time, building in 2, in 3, the ultimate goal is to be able to notice throughout your day when you're consciously present and when you're not. And of course, not judging the moments when you're not. I still notice many moments. I'm distracted with something outside of me. I'm numbing myself, scrolling on my phone, or I'm just somewhere else entirely. I can't tell where my attention is. Those are invitations to then refocus and become more present. So the more when we're aware of when we're not present, then we have the opportunity to, just like we did together with those check-in points, to become present in those moments.
I love that you shared that, because I think there's a lot of people who have tried meditation.
Right.
Like, I just can't do it. Like, I don't like all the things, right? And I think giving yourself permission or really even just expectation that just pay attention to how you feel, the sensations. What does the room smell like? Or what are you feeling? But without judgment, without need, or even without needing an answer, right? Kind of like just starting that process of just being aware and not feeling like you need some kind of a result when you're doing it. I think this is huge because most people, I mean, I'm telling you, generations in my family don't know how to hear their own intuition or even how they're feeling.
Right.
And we live life so disconnected, like disassociated from everything, right? So this is a way to kind of like tune back in and start that process, which I think for a lot of people, this will be the first time they've ever even thought about doing that, you know, or understood why they should.
I think a lot of people too misinterpret what exactly meditation is and then feel intimidated if stillness or silence feels uncomfortable, if they are overwhelmed by the sensations in their body or the racing thoughts in their mind. And so they give the practice up and think that they can't do it. In my opinion, any moment can be made into a meditative moment, because the way I define meditation is presence. You can just as equally be on a walk. For me, music is such an incredibly important continued part of my journey. So I would walk to work and put music, my headphones on when I was living in Philadelphia in a city. So there was a lot of noise around me, which is why I had the headphones on. And I would just stay present to listening to the sound, to feeling my muscles as I walked, quite literally, to my office day in and day out. So I'm really happy you brought that up, because I think a lot of us can be like, oh, meditation isn't for me, because for decades, stillness, if our body is stressed, the physiological signals that our mind is being sent is that stillness isn't safe. Why the heck are you staying still when there's something threatening happening in your environment? And then the racing thoughts are reflection of the body's stress. So for a lot of us, I think we don't feel like we can meditate, or it's not helpful to us, because stopping, stillness, silence, our body doesn't feel safe yet doing it. So again, any moment can be made into a conscious moment, no matter what we're doing. Even if it's washing dishes and doing something we do not like doing, we can just be present to how it feels to be in our body, smelling the aroma of the soap, right? Feeling the warm water or the suds on my hands, not in my head, distracted, arguing with why I'm even doing this. Just being present to the action that I'm taking can be a meditative moment.
This is powerful, because a lot of people think I need to sit cross-legged with my palms up, eyes closed, 20 minutes,
Yes.
right? And you're saying, I love what you just said, these words, meditation is presence. Woo! Because how many of us, we're not even present at any moment in the entire day.
Right.
We're rehearsing the future. We're stuck in the past. We're all the different things. We're going through our to-do list mentally. We're actually never present. And you're saying meditation is presence. Kind of like that exercise we just did then would be meditation.
Yep.
Just saying, how do I feel? Or just paying attention. Like me just looking at you right now. Presence.
Well, the beautiful point is that's how we are present in our relationships and truly attuned, not thinking about what we want to say in response to someone else. Right? Not overwhelmed with what's happening in our body, able to be grounded in my body, to be hearing what you're saying, of course, to be feeling the, generative energy of us being present, maybe even feeling in response to what I'm hearing you say, but I'm not consumed by my side of the conversation, whether it's in thought or in emotional reaction. And that goes back to that childhood need of emotional attunement. And the need that very few of us have had met, because we didn't have that grounded caregiver able to be truly present and curious about us. So when we develop this ability, our relationships greatly shift. We feel more attuned, in sync, emotionally connected. The thing I've been searching for my entire life, we feel that when we're in this grounded state of awareness or consciousness with someone else.
No, this is so good. Like this is going to help so many people today. So many people. So I want to ask this, because this is such a thing. Our thoughts are so powerful. And for so many of us, we feel like our negative thoughts spiral. How do you stop the spiral of negative thoughts?
Two-part. We'll work on both layers, if you will, mind and body. When we notice, back to that first step, to create change. When you notice the thought spiral, the negative, the critical, the shaming, whatever your version of that spiral is, becoming present, right? Oh, what's going on in my mind? Oh my gosh, I'm down the rabbit hole of criticism, of shame, of negativity, whatever it's about, without judgment. That step of awareness is going to allow you now to unhook your attention from it. Just knowing that you do that isn't going to stop that neural habit. We've practiced those thought spirals by simply repeating them, by allowing ourselves to go down that spiral, some of us for the entirety of our lives. So this is another area, I think, where we shame ourselves. We're like, oh, I have negative thought spirals, so now they should stop. I've become aware of them, so now they should go away. And that's not possible. Like the rehearsal of repeating it. We have all of these neuron pathways that will create that spiral again and again and again and again. The empowerment of removing the focus of attention is where we regain control. Okay, that started. I'm down the rabbit hole of whatever it is. Now I can unhook my attention and put it in all of those other beautiful places that we just talked about. Because those thought spirals, especially negative ones, especially stressful ones, especially shameful ones, obsessive ones, they often originate with the stress we're holding in our body. So that bottom layer, noticing if the place you're dropping your attention to, unhooking it from your thoughts, notice how your muscles feel. Notice how your breathing is or your heart rate. Chances are you will notice the elevation in stress, the tension, the quickened breath, the quickened heart rate. And then you could begin to make intentional choices in that moment to slow and deepen your breath, to release the tension that you're feeling in your muscles, so that then you could work on both layers, right? We can't remove the thoughts, so we can choose where we put our attention. And then over time, if we downgrade or downshift the stress in our body, we will limit the presence of those cycles.
You know, you look at some of the studies that show that our thoughts can be so powerful to the point where if we are focused on them, if we're focused intently on our thoughts, that sometimes our body doesn't know the difference between a real, actual experience and the experience we're thinking about.
Jamie Kern Lima is her name.
Everybody needs Jamie Kern Lima in their life.
Jamie Kern Lima.
Jamie, you're so inspiring.
Jamie Kern Lima.